Okay, let's dive in. We are tackling something pretty radical today, this claim that your connection to your highest good, peace, joy, abundance,
Yeah.
it's fundamentally unbreakable by anything external.
Yeah. And our sources for this are quite unique. They come from the teachings of the sacred Atlantean Brotherhood, specifically guidance from Grandmaster Waxira. Now, for context, these are esoteric, channeled texts. They really focus on spiritual alignment, emphasizing that your mental and emotional reality, that's primary, physical reality is secondary. So we're going straight to the heart of their philosophy to try and answer one core question for them. If your well-being is supposed to be untouchable, what's the one thing that could possibly harm it?
Right. And what comes through immediately is this core premise that really shifts everything. Your good is untouchable
Huh. Yeah.
unless you lose your grip on two specific internal things. The Brotherhood teaches the connection stays solid as long as you maintain your, quote, mental goodness and also recognize the divinity that is our essence. If you let go of those two, well, you've basically built your own wall blocking the connection. That really is the shortcut then, isn't it?
Yeah.
If these teachings are right, achieving genuine inner strength isn't about, fighting the outside world. That feels like a battle you can't really win anyway.
Yeah.
It becomes entirely about optimizing these two things inside us,
Right.
which, yeah, shifts the whole focus from external defense to internal alignment.
Exactly.
So let's start with that foundation then. The divinity that is our essence. The texts call it an ever-present and unbreakable divine spark. Okay, but practically speaking, what does that mean for someone listening right now? What do they inherently have?
It means that the goodness they might be seeking,
Mm.
that peace, stability, joy, maybe wisdom, it's not some resource out there in the world that they need to chase or earn. According to these teachings, it's intrinsic. It's already there. The divine essence is defined as the very core of our being, the source of all virtues. If you picture yourself like a fortress, this essence is the bedrock. It's the ultimate non-negotiable supply. It can't be taken away. And if we connect that to the bigger picture, well, alignment with this divine essence, it naturally aligns us with what they call the flow of universal good. And
Right.
because that spark, that essence, is eternal and immune to damage, the flow it connects you to is also immune to external disruption. It sort of functions like an internal gyroscope, constantly self-correcting.
Hmm. That's a radical idea, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it really flies in the face of how most of us operate, doesn't it? We look for validation or peace or abundance from, I don't know, promotion or relationship, buying something. The real aha moment here seems to be realizing that divinity isn't some destination you have to reach. It is, like the source says, embedded in our very essence. We
Back
just need to
to
recognize it's there.
precisely.
But Kate, if this divine spark is so powerful, so unbreakable, why do we feel disconnected so often? That brings us to the vulnerability, right? Why would something as simple as a negative thought apparently be enough to sever a connection to something supposedly eternal?
That's a really important question. And this is where the teachings get very specific. The essence itself, that cannot be severed. It always remains intact. But
Mm.
your awareness of it, your connection to it, that can be completely overshadowed, eclipsed. Think of the essence like the sun, it's always shining. But the mind is like the earth. And things like fear or doubt or negativity, those are the clouds. The sun itself is perfectly fine, but down here under the clouds, you don't see the light, you feel disconnected.
That's a great analogy. Okay. So if the divine essence is the powerful engine, we need to talk about the steering wheel. How exactly do we use our minds to maintain that connection? What is this operational term, mental goodness?
Mental goodness is essentially the conscious filter you apply. The mind, in these teachings, is considered the chief architect of your manifested reality, your experience. And it's not just about, thinking positive, it's deeper. It's about aligning your core operational thoughts, the ones running the show, with the highest truths. Love, peace, wisdom, divine order. Grandmaster Waxira is very clear on this. Your thoughts are described as the literal blueprints for your experience.
Blueprints.
Yeah, and we have a direct quote here that really lays out the mechanism. Your thoughts are the architects of your reality. When you think with mental goodness, you create a life that reflects your inner divinity. So you're constantly drawing the plans for your internal state, your internal fortress, if you will. And mental goodness is the quality control, ensuring that faulty fear-based designs don't get built.
Right. Okay, let's apply that blueprint idea to, well, modern life. If I start my day doom scrolling through terrible news, letting political anxiety just dictate my emotional state for, say, 2 hours,
Yeah.
am I actively drawing a blueprint based on fear in that moment. Is that the failure condition the text warn about?
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
The only way the teachings say you can lose that active connection is by allowing those negative blueprints, fear, doubt, judgment, anxiety, to control the mind. The texts describe this as a conscious turning away from the divine wisdom, which is always, always available. You're essentially choosing, in that moment, to step out of sync with your own internal gyroscope. You're overriding the natural stability.
I see. So it's not a passive vulnerability, like something just happens to you. It sounds like an active decision, maybe subconscious sometimes, but still a decision to let go of the grip. And the remedy, according to the sources, sounds highly practical. It's about mindfulness, spiritual focus, actively refusing those blueprints of fear.
Absolutely. And according to Grandmaster Waxira, mindfulness here isn't just about breathing calmly, though that can help. It's the active choice to refuse the blueprint of fear. That's identified as the only real internal blockage. It's like being the maintenance crew for your mind, constantly ensuring your thoughts align with the truth of that divine spark within you, rather than aligning with the temporary chaos or negativity you might see in the external world.
Constant maintenance. Okay.
Which leads us nicely into alignment. Now that we understand we need this mental goodness, spiritual alignment becomes the ultimate practice. It's defined as the practice of constantly returning to our center. And critically, that center is deliberately maintained as unshaken by external forces, untouched by the fleeting distractions. You cultivate that inner stability.
And fascinatingly, the sources draw a parallel here. They link this Atlantean idea of the mind or heart being the center of the flow directly to Sufi wisdom. It's always interesting when you see two seemingly distinct esoteric traditions landing on the exact same functional truth, isn't it?
It really is. It suggests a universal principle at play.
Yeah. The Mufis, as mentioned in the notes we have, teach that the heart is the gateway to this divine connection. And the specific quote included is simple, but it resonates so powerfully with the Atlantean stuff. When your heart is aligned with God, nothing in the world can take away your peace, your joy, or your connection to the divine. It just completely reinforces that internal power structure idea.
That does, perfectly. And if we look at the mechanism that achieves this alignment, the energy that powers it, the sources are unanimous.
Yep.
It's love. Love is described not just as an emotion, but as the very core of mental goodness itself. It's called the divine force that binds all things together, and fundamentally the highest form of energy available in the universe.
The highest energy.
Yes. And Grandmaster Waxira clarifies love's essential role beautifully here, saying, love is the essence of your divinity. When you live in love, you live in alignment with your highest good. Love is the bridge between the human experience and the divine truth. So, love isn't just a nice feeling, it's the actual energy that makes the whole process of building those positive mental blueprints flow smoothly. It keeps the connection strong.
Okay, so let me try and recap the strategy based on everything we've looked at from these sources. Is it fair to say the entire practice basically boils down to choice over circumstance? That's staying anchored in love, peace, wisdom. It's simply a constant moment-by-moment choice of where you put your focus, and that choice guarantees a connection.
That is probably the most concise way to put it, yes. It is a moment-by-moment practice of conscious awareness. Choosing alignment instead of just reacting to whatever's happening outside. The external circumstance is just, well, it's just the weather. Your connection to the divine essence, maintained through mental goodness and love, that's your climate-controlled internal fortress. The weather outside doesn't have to affect the climate inside.
Right. That brings us right back around to that central insight from Grandmaster Waxira then. The only separation you will ever experience from your highest good happens when you, the individual, choose to let go of your grip on internal mental goodness and love. The world can throw its worst at you, apparently, but that core connection is internally insulated.
Exactly. And we should probably leave you with that powerful final teaching from Waxira on this. When you are aligned with your inner divinity, you are untouchable. Your highest good is yours to manifest, and no external force can take it from you. Keep your grip on love, and you will always remain connected to your good.
Wow. Untouchable.
Yeah. And what this really means for your everyday life, for you listening right now, is that manifesting your highest good isn't some, long-term goal that might happen down the road if conditions are perfect. The teachings argue it's actually a choice you make right now, in this moment, through your alignment, through your conscious awareness. You decide the quality of your internal architecture, moment by moment.
Okay, so we have to end with a challenge then, based on that. If your highest good truly is untouchable by the external world, maybe ask yourself, what specific external fear Could be financial worry, social anxiety, maybe just a negative news story you saw. What fear are you currently allowing to take priority over your internal mental goodness, over that connection to love? And maybe more importantly, what small choice can you make right now, today, to anchor yourself back into that unshakable flow?
That's the real work.
Definitely something to mull over. Go deeper into these concepts on your own if they resonate. And until next time, keep that internal grip strong.